Hello manga and anime lovers, I'm Branch, and today I'm going to be talking about Too Many Losing Heroines, Episode 6. Ooh boy, this episode was painful. And by that I don't mean it was bad, I mean that it was emotionally heavy. Now I could talk about all the little things, like how Nukumizu convinces Mr. Black Hole that he's in love with Anna, or various things like that, but I'm going to glance over all that. Instead, I'm going to get straight to the point of the episode because there's a lot to talk about. And that point is Lemon and her feelings and her relationship with her childhood friend, and how it's very different to Komori's relationship with her crush and his girlfriend. So way back when we had Lemon's first episode and she quote-unquote got rejected, I mentioned how she was taking it out by running, and she was a lot less shooketh than Anna was, and later than Komori. But now that has a bit of a double meaning because she was not just running to relieve stress and sadness. She has been running away from her feelings and confronting this for a very long time. And it really comes to a head, crashes and burns this episode. And it's not just her fault. It's also mostly the fault of her childhood friend and his girlfriend, because nobody here is communicating at all, and it's very unfortunate. The girlfriend is worried about her relationship and feels super insecure, as does Mr. Black Hole. He is also unsure of his relationship and is super insecure. And then Lemon feels probably the most secure at first, but when confronted with these two people who are so shaky, they kind of drag her down with them, and then everything she's been holding back comes out. It all comes to a head in this fantastic scene where she just lets slip that she used to love Mr. Black Hole. And it's such a matter-of-fact thing that I didn't even notice it at first, until like the other characters I was like, wait a minute, this wasn't common knowledge, was it? And then everything goes down, and the girlfriend's insecurities are realized, and Mr. Black Hole realizes how dense he is, and Lemon runs away because she realizes she might have just ruined this relationship, and it's just a huge mess. And really, Nukumizu is the only one level-headed in this scenario, because he goes running after Lemon, the one who's most hurt, to make sure that she's okay. And it's interesting that Lemon still is not super phased. She's still smiling all the time, and she's still, keeping up herself, even though she's clearly affected by this. But let it be known that I did not miss the fact that, once again, she ran away from her problems. As soon as confrontation happens, she runs. She ran from her feelings, she runs from the couple, and then she runs from the school to stay at her grandma's place. Really, the best case scenario that this could have ended up in if communications had happened was for Lemon to confess to Mr. Black Hole earlier, get rejected, and then in that case Mr. Black Hole would be able to focus his full attention on his girlfriend and not confuse her by still hanging out with Lemon often, and Lemon would not be emotionally confused by Mr. Black Hole hanging out with her often and then having to see him get all flirty with his girlfriend. And it is just the way that Mr. Black Hole fights back against them being separated is just so unbelievably frustrating, because he is amplifying his girlfriend's insecurities and chipping at the dam that Lemon has built over her feelings to help keep herself together. And he's the problem here. Like I mentioned with Komori's story, how those two lovers had some problems going on. But these two are absolutely insane when it comes to personality incompatibilities. That being said, Mr. Black Hole is not compatible with Lemon either. He's not really compatible with most anybody because he's so dense. And he's not even dense, he jumps to conclusions way too quickly. And I guess in that way, so does his girlfriend. So maybe they were made for each other. Now, considering we have yet to see Lemon actually have that moment that Anna did and Komori did, where they knew they had lost and they accepted it deep down and were hurt by it, she is running away from the pain and it's going to catch up to her. And I am not looking forward to seeing what happens when it does, because it is not going to be pretty. Thankfully, Nukumizu is one of the most emotionally resonant people in this entire group, and he will be able to, if not do anything about it, be there for her as a person to confide in or to cry on. Now, real quick before I finish up, I want to compare this to how Komori's relationship is going with the two people that she got in the way of the romance of. And like I said before, she's basically the person who has moved on the fastest. And I expected that because she got everything out. She didn't bottle anything up. She didn't ignore anything. She put her feelings out in the open. She got soundly rejected. And her crush and his childhood friend managed to communicate with each other and build a relationship. And then Komori communicated with both of them and set the boundaries on what she wants their relationship to be going forward. How she still wanted to be a friend of the club president and wanted him to be a literary partner on her stories. And she also expressed her desire to remain friends with his girlfriend and to not hold anything against her. And we can see this episode how close they actually are and how much that past drama doesn't really bother them because they settled it. They put it behind them. It's done now. Now, it might come up later if the president comes on one of these outings with them. Then we might see some drama. But I have confidence that those three will be able to navigate it efficiently because they're all aware of each other's feelings. So they're all able to move things along and not get caught in a web of miscommunication. A couple extra things I really liked. Those super detailed shots on Anna when they went to the cave and showing how dressed up she was amazing. And the scene at the end in the massage chair with Komori just being absolutely shocked by just sitting in it going, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it was amazing. I love Komori's voice actress. She is fantastic. And I also really like the grandma for what it's worth. She's a nice old lady, very fit, as you would expect of Lemon's bloodline. Also, Nukumizu and Komori fawning over the crab was peak friendship quality right there. I love it. This is exactly something me and my friends and siblings would do. It's great. And I'm looking really forward to seeing how this will wrap up, because it'll probably wrap up either next episode or the episode after that. It's just been so good so far. The pacing of this show is immaculate, and I cannot wait to see how they handle things going forward. Things that I don't know about yet. That being said, that's all I have to say on this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.